Matt record it.
What is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom and be the rock star agent in your market. And we're talking about not only being a rock star agent, but actually turning that into a rock star team. And so we've got an awesome guest with us. Dave Friedman out of South Carolina is here to share how he's gone from essentially being a top agent to now being a top team leader, and has built a team that's paying him over $3 million in commission this year in 3 years. So we've got a bunch of stuff to get into. We'll talk about lead generation and marketing and bringing on agents and how you make that transition and all kinds of that good stuff so that you guys can learn from his experience. But first, the junior grandmaster himself is in the co-pilot seat, as always, right where he belongs, nestled so deeply, right in his chair.
So deeply, yes.
Greg McDaniel, how are you?
What up? Dude, it is a Friday morning. Friday afternoon in some parts of the country, but it's still morning here, bitches. We are going to be we got lunch coming up, and I'm super excited. I feel like dog shit warmed up, putting a paper bag lid on fire and stepped on, but I'm here with you guys hanging out, and I had a really uniquely awesome opportunity. Matt, I spoke with a woman by the name of Teresa Shoemaker. She sent me a text message, and I got to read it to you. She says, hey, Greg McDaniel, this is Teresa Shoemaker. I've been following you and Matt for a while. You guys rock, capital rock. I've heard about the McDaniel Challenge, and I have a challenge for you guys to help me. It is definitely would be a challenge in my situation, as I am a new agent and I still have to keep my full-time job. Caps, please help. So I gave Teresa a call this morning, had a quick McDaniel challenge with her, gave her some ideas and action items for her to take action on, and she writes back to me, after we got off the call, thank you, Greg. You lifted my spirits. Dude, Knuckles, that is all I need to make me feel good on a day that I am a bit challenged. So Teresa, my hat is off to you. You have 30 days. Call me back, and I want to see where you are.
That's right.
Just so you know.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, let's bring in our special guest, Dave Friedman. Dave, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing awesome. So we're excited to have you.
Awesome.
We've got a lot of stuff to get into. We can talk about, actually, we can maybe dive deeper into that particular comment from Greg here in a second. But there was a question I want to throw out to both you and Greg, because I know you guys have both dealt with this, because you both sell a lot of homes and sell over a geographic area, right? So there's a good question from Travis Lockett, saying that basically has it's an expired listing they've been in contact with, struggling to set the appointment. The objection that he's struggling to handle is they only want to work with an agent who has sold a home in their specific neighborhood, which, by the way, as he adds as a side note, the entire neighborhood is only 41 homes.
Whoa.
So they want to look for someone that sold a home, and apparently they're a cul-de-sac. I don't know. But anyway, so Dave, you've sold a ton of homes. I mean, you guys are on track to do something like 350 home sales, and you've been a top agent there in your area. So just give me a quick kind of a perspective on how you would handle that objection.
Sure, absolutely. I would definitely ask them what their motivation is and what's important to them in selling their home. Generally for sellers, it's the ease of sale. It's selling for top dollar and selling their home fast, right? So those are probably the three answers that they're going to get. And then basically go back to them, tie it back to motivation. Let's say it's, motivation for a job relocation or something like that, to say, well, how would your life look like if that one agent in your neighborhood that sold one home couldn't get your home sold because that was the first home they ever sold in their life, right? And they don't have the expertise to sell your home for top dollar and, quickly and for, in an easy way. So, I would just tie it back to that and say, do you think it'd be worth 15 minutes of your time to talk to two people?
And the answer is going to be yes.
Do you think that would change your life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it'd be worth 15 minutes of your time to sit down with me so I can show you what we can do? And I'm not there to get your listing. I'm not there to try to hard to close you like other realtors and salespeople. But what I'm there to do is just show you that we're the expert in the market. And if you think it would be worth 15 minutes of your time so you can actually move for this new job that you have, then let's go ahead and get together tomorrow at 2:00. How does that sound to you?
You just sold me. You got my listing.
Greg's on his way.
It might take me a little bit longer to get to you, but
that's right. Dave has to hop on a plane. Yeah, that's really good. I like it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very, very, very simple. Very, very direct as well. Greg, how do you feel? Like, is that the same way you'd handle it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the exact same way that I would handle it. You want to kind of hang your shingle out there and you know, see if you can get the business, but you don't want to hard press them. Hard pressing is it's a very stinky cologne, you know, in desperation. So, I mean, doing the pullback method is something, well, maybe I'm not the right agent for you. You know, we don't know yet. Let's get together and see if you're the right client for me. And they're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm not the right client? Excuse you. I am too. Come over to my house, damn it. Oh, I'm not sure.
If you insist. That's right. That's right. I love it.
Really good opportunity. I've done that a couple of times. And when clients like try to punk me, and I'm sitting there, and I'll just say, well, you know, I'm really glad that I'm here, and you know, I want to make sure you're going to be the right client for me, because if you're not the right client for me, I think it'd be best that you work with someone that you can relate with better. They're going, wait, you're rejecting me? It's like the hot chick at the bar that gets shot down. Huh? That doesn't happen. No. Not very no.
Absolutely. We say something else. We say something else that's kind of similar too, where if somebody's looking at us and they're, you know, might make a comment about how realtors like to, you know, just try to pick up listings to get leads. We always say to them, hey, we turn down more listings than we take on when we meet with people. Like, there's a chance that we might come over and we talk to you and let you know that you're not the right fit for us. And it's because we don't need every single listing out there.
Yeah. That's a great line.
It is. And another, since Dave and I are going to keep riffing on this thing, another thing that I say to folks as well, before I get there, is I say, you know what? I just want to let you know how my team works. You know, I want your business, but I don't need your business. You know, we have an opportunity to work with a lot of families, and I need to make sure that you're the right client for me, and I'm the right agent for you, and this is the right time for you. So that's why I'm going to come on by. And so the desperation is taken away. Dave, you seem like you and I do the same thing, which is it's very attractive to people, because you don't want to be clingy or desperate or anything else out of commission breath, because you will lose that every single time.
Absolutely. One other thing I would probably throw in there that I didn't is throw in a third-party testimonial and say, you know, what's really unusual about the fact that you just want to interview one realtor is every single seller that I've ever talked to, they at least want to interview two realtors, and this is why. And you don't want to, you know, you want to make them feel isolated by making a decision to only interview one, but people by human nature want to feel like they're part of a group, right? So that's why I throw that third-party testimonial out there too.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I really do like that.
Cool. All right. So Dave, give for those that don't know, kind of give a little bit of insight into your background and kind of where you came from. We'll dive into kind of the transition. So lead us up for those that aren't aware of who you are. We know kind of just the general area, but give us the specifics on where you are and kind of how you got into the business and where it led up to like being one of the top agents at RE/MAX a couple of years ago.
Sure, absolutely. I am from Detroit, Michigan, and we got somebody sneaking around in the background here. There she goes. From Detroit, Michigan, and I moved down to Charleston, South Carolina, back in 2008.
Facebook Live, you gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure to tag her in that later.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I was working for a company called Centex Homes. It's a national home builder. And back in 2005, 2008, the market really shifted around the Detroit area. So Centex was pulling their business out of that area. So I ended up transferring down to Charleston, South Carolina. Best decision I ever made. So I ended up with Centex down here until I went into general brokerage at RE/MAX in 2013.
Nice.
So I had a corporate background in new home sales.
Interesting. So what was the transition like from new home sales into just straight residential sales?
You know, the one thing I really loved about Centex is they put us through about 4 different sales training programs. You know, every other year they came out with a better one.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, the transition was easy. I was also a heavy prospector back at Centex. So when I got into general brokerage, instead of having, you know, 5 different models that I could sell, I had the Charleston Tri-County area.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know that I went about it the right way to begin with. In starting my business, I probably should have read a few real estate books. However, you know, I got into it and I just started generating pay-per-click leads and pounding the phones, you know, and that's it. I just heavy prospecting and setting appointments and meeting with buyers.
So forgive me for asking a stupid question, but I mean, the vast majority of real estate agents look at new home agents as just order takers, and you're telling me that you're an active prospector with new homes?
Yeah, I was. Luckily enough, up in the Detroit division of Centex, they empowered the salespeople to run the subdivisions that they managed as if it was their own business. So I had a small marketing budget, and so I would go out and purchase call lists, or I would send out marketing to apartment complexes that were nearby. We would run certain promotions with like buying people out of their leases and stuff like that. So I was in charge of driving some traffic to the models. Not all of it. There was also a marketing department, but yeah, and when I got to that neighborhood had been open for maybe 4 to 5 years. So we had, thousands of people that have walked through that door. So I spent all day, every day on the phone, just calling every single person over and over again, trying to find out where they were in their home search and getting them out to the neighborhood to buy.
That's awesome. So few people actually will talk about the fact that they hustled, that hard, so that when you made the shift over to resale, there's no different. You just had a bigger marketplace to play in now. So you had more opportunity.
Totally.
And most agents go into it with a negative mindset, a shrunken mindset of like, oh my God, I can only talk to my sphere. I can only do this type of marketing. I can only do blah, blah, blah. But you had the 180 degree different view, because you're like, I had 500 homes. Now I have 25,000 or 100,000 possibilities. And your mindset, I think, is what is the most important thing here. You already had the hustle and grind, man. We already know that. But you saw a land of opportunity instead of a desolate, barren wasteland. You're like, dude, everyone's my friend. I'm going to make friends with everybody. They don't know me, but they're going to love me.
Absolutely. When I would go into a new neighborhood, I would go around and knock on every single door of people in the neighborhood and ask, who they knew that were friends, family from church or work or whatever it was that is thinking about buying or selling a home and, would want to end up in this neighborhood. So even though I hadn't sold homes to those people that already lived in the neighborhood, but if I entered a new one, they would move you around from neighborhood to neighborhood every 6 months to 1 year. And so I'd go around and ask the homeowners for referrals as well.
What did you say to them to get the referrals? I mean, because just give them your script, because so many people don't know what to say, or they're afraid they're going to say it wrong or something else. But in reality, if you just get your ass out the damn door and just say hi, you'll probably get a referral if you're nice, right?
Yeah. So one thing that I learned in new home sales, it's really unusual, however, and I don't know why this is, but typically the people that buy in the neighborhood, about 80% of them are pretty similar to one another. Same demographic, same age group, same, socioeconomic class, same, everything, same stage of life. And it's a really unusual thing, and it has nothing to do with, targeting a specific person. It has everything to do with certain neighborhoods appeal to certain people. And so once I identified that, I would just go around to the neighbors and say, hey, what's your life like now that you live here? And they would talk about the friends that they've developed and how their, kids have friends in the neighborhood and things like that. And I would just get into it and say, what if you could choose your neighbors? Mm-hmm. What if you could decide, who you hung out with on a more regular basis because they lived in the neighborhood? And who are those people? Do you mind if I give them a call and invite them out just to take a look at some of the models and see if this would be a better fit for them over their current living situation? And so I would try to get referrals from them that way.
That's awesome. We have a development here. It's a city called San Ramon. It's south of us by one city. And they did a shit ton of new builds a couple of years ago. And it was predominantly aimed towards the Asian and the Indian cultures for the way the feng shui and the way it's situated and everything else. And so we all know where the buyers were coming from. So they're coming from Fremont and Hayward, which is a little bit more south from us. So we knew exactly where to target the buyer side. So we'd go call into Fremont and Hayward, talk about coming into Danville for better schools, newer homes, yada, yada. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, okay. These are the models. Okay. They come up and it was awesome. I mean, that's one of the things that do you look at where your feeder markets are, now that you're in, resale, and say, okay, Detroit, Michigan, Walnut Creek, California, San Diego, California, these are all markets for my area. And you call into them so you can be proactive? Is that something you guys do?
I don't. And the only reason is because I think there's too much untapped potential right here. And, so I could go. So there's a lot of people from Ohio that moved to Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a Michigan fan, go blue. So I don't want more Ohio people living here. So I'm not going to tell you that. But anyway. But if I did want to, I could go up there and spend a bunch of money on doing that. But really, how many of those people are going to move here? Or I could spend a bunch of money on marketing to people that already live here. And if they already live here and they want to move, I have a home to sell and help them buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got two sides of the deal instead of just one. And they know people around here, so I get more referrals of people that are local. So
Yeah.
I know people that do that, that will go to other markets that are feeder markets. However, I also think that there's too much untapped potential here to do that.
Right. And we have a guy that's watching, Scott. Matt, he's not in the real estate business, and Dave, he's sitting here and goes, I love the show, and he's fascinated to figure out how you went in 3 years to, a GCI of 3 million plus. Matt, let's start breaking that down a little bit about how you started.
Dude, I want to start with the transition. So when you transitioned over into residential, did you immediately start going after listings, or did you stay with what you're comfortable with and just prospect for buyers with a bigger inventory? What was the first shift?
I did prospect for buyers, and it was the reason behind that is because I was really good at it and really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I had if there was one thing I could go back and do differently, I would have started with my database. I would have created the database, started with that, gone after referral marketing, and then at the same time started calling sellers.
And we've talked about that on previous shows before. Yeah. Well, it locks you into the only way to grow is your own personal time and effort.
Correct.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So
but I did.
What kind of database did you have though in Columbia? Or in Columbia, yeah.
In Charleston?
In Charleston, yeah. What kind of database after being there for how long with in new home sales?
So I was there at that time 5 years, and
okay.
So not very big. I was, so at the time, I guess that was 4 years ago. So I was about 30. So I had, not very much at all. So in a sense, I generated so many buyer leads that my database grew because of that too.
Gotcha.
So I spent a lot of money to create a database. I was pretty relentless about my initial push to start a database where I literally exported, every single contact from every single email that I had personally, and also from LinkedIn and Facebook. So a lot of these people were in Michigan. Whenever I go back to Michigan, people are like, man, I see your stuff all the time. But I didn't pick and choose who I added to that database. Anybody that I've ever had contact with, I just threw in the database, and that's it. And then on top of that, I started purchasing pay-per-click leads.
Yeah, I think you should do that, and I think you did it the right way. We always talk about how you can export everything out of LinkedIn and stuff like that. But if you're aggressive to build your database, there's a lot of easy ways to do it. You just have to just take action on it, because a lot of people say, well, my sphere of influence is only 200, 300, 500, 1,000 people, and within that sphere of influence, you can do a ton of business, but people just don't really build it. They remain a secret agent, and you want the opposite way. You're like, dude, hello, putting a banner out. Here I am, people. Let's do some business. And
it took me about 10 to 12 months to do that. I think I actually did that in January 2014. I got hooked up with Frank Klevitz over at Vital Marketing. So I got into general brokerage in February 2013. Finally built a database in January 2014. And so I probably would have done that a little bit quicker, but anyway.
Yeah, well, Frank, the man bear, that guy's huge.
The man bear.
The man bear. But I mean, Frank's, with his videos and everything, I was shooting with my coach Reed today, and they've really helped us get in front of our clientele and remain relevant. By bringing new, interesting videos about different content. Like I just released one the other day about interviewing the police chief. Thing went freaking viral. No, well, that didn't mean to be a pun, but it was. Viral marketing. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, are you shooting a lot of videos down in Charleston? Is that how you're staying in front of your database and growing it now, or what are you doing to continue to grow your database now that you have an established base?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So I have a 71 touch system, and so 24 of those touches are Frank. Yeah, 71, and we're looking to expand it right now. Yeah.
Overachiever. Holy shit.
Awesome. So Frank helps us out. So if we have your email, phone number, home address, and name, then you're getting hit 71 times.
A year?
Yeah.
That's literally, you're taking a baseball bat and just plop. Dave Friedman. They cannot avoid you.
But we're doing that 71 times, not just once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about top of mind awareness, right? And so the frequency is the important part about it.
I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen to Greg after you and I spend 2 hours working on this lead follow-up plan this afternoon. You're going to get beat over the head with a bat 71 times by me.
I already feel like I got beat over the head. So you're just so that people can do their math, guys. 71 touches per person per year. That's 5.91 infinity, 6 on that thing a month. So basically, you're 6 touches. 5.5 touches every single month. I don't know how you get a half touch. Like you send an email, it comes back, and I forgot halfway there. But
it's a Snapchat, it disappears. that's the half touch.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man. That's really good though. All right, so you have their 4 main pieces of information. So give us an idea. Obviously, you got 2 videos going out a month. What are some of the other touches?
Yeah, so we have 24 videos going out per year. We use market snapshot from top producers, so that's another 12 touches. And so if I ever get anybody's contact information, I put them in our database. I'm pretty relentless about it. We have about 65,000 people in our database right now.
Mm-hmm.
65,000?
It's insane.
Yeah, 65,000.
I think you actually have Jeff Cohn beat. I think he's in the low 60s. Yeah, he's slipping. He's slipping. We gotta get him back in gear again. He's in the low 60s.
Damn.
So what are we up to right now? 36. 24 videos, market snapshot, that's 12, so that's 36 of them. We do a newsletter, so that's another 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 48?
Direct mail, actual printed newsletter, right?
Correct, yeah. So then what we do is we do a Valentine's giveaway. So we mail out 2 postcards, right? So that's another 2 touches.
Mm-hmm.
And then we follow it up with a phone call, right? So we get crazy on the phone, call the entire database if we can. And it's a Valentine's chocolate giveaway. So the idea is that we, it's a giver's gain, right? So we're just offering something to people. We always end up with a ton of referrals when we do this.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that says they want a box of chocolates, we have a virtual assistant go onto Amazon and take, the roster of people that we collected that want chocolates, and she orders them chocolate. They get chocolate in the mail from us. And so there's a little handwritten card that goes with it too. So it's a nice high touch. And so there's 2 postcards, a phone call, and the chocolate, right? So there's 4 more touches. So what are we up to now?
A lot.
52?
53 or 54, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so 54. So then on top of that, we do that for Thanksgiving too with apple pies.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Very cool.
Right, so add another 4 there. So is that 58, something like that. And then we do, so Frank produces, I think, 3 to 4 emails a year that go out.
Yep.
He calls them his magical emails, so that brings us up to, they are magic. They get a huge response.
Things are stupid.
Buyer and seller lead gen emails.
Uh-huh.
Buyer and seller lead gen, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we do here? We do a baseball game in the summer.
Nice.
Baseball game is awesome. So with that, again, 2 postcards, and in addition to that, a phone call, and then the actual event too.
So do you just buy like a block of seats of like 50 or 100 seats, and whoever wants to come on over? Or
we had 1,000 people RSVP this year.
Whoa! That's the whole freaking stadium on some games.
1,000 people. So get this. So the game rained out. They canceled the game in the 4th inning, and the weather report was absolutely terrible. They should have called the game. They should have started it. And so we were literally passing out tickets in the rain to people, and 150 people still showed up.
Holy cow!
They wanted that game.
Man,
we had 1,000 people RSVP. So crazy. We tie a lot of these events into charity, and
that's cool.
We're adding 2 more big events. We're doing one right before Halloween. We're doing the Great Pumpkin Giveaway. So our goal is to give away 1,500 pumpkins. And that's going to be more. So we're actually spreading these out into the community. Not just our database anymore.
Yeah.
So run 4 radio stations. We talk about in the radio stations. Get people from all over the place. So in our geographic part and stuff like that. But I don't know what we're up to. We probably do a couple more touches there, but we're somewhere around 71.
Well, I definitely think that whatever you're doing, it's working. I mean, good Lord, man, you're in front of them, but you're not, what I want people to understand is you're not there just beating them over the head, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, home value, home value, home value. You're fun. You got a baseball game, you got, pies, you got pumpkins, you got all kinds of cool stuff. And that's what people want to engage with. They want to go have fun. And if you can be the fun real estate agent that's professional, but you still sit next to them and have a hot dog and a beer and root for your favorite team, that's the best possibility. We used to have A's tickets, a group of 4 of them, and we would give them away like hotcakes. And then we would, like, once in a blue moon, we'd do get a box for a game and invite people to it. And like a huge RSVP amount of people, and then the perfect amount would show up, and it would go on in, and it would food and beer and good times. And the referrals were
from that program itself. From that program itself, a third of our business comes from it. So we did about 65 deals last year in 2016 from that, and the ROI on it's 55 times.
Whoa, man, lot.
Just the game?
No, the entire 71 touch.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn, if the game's like, dude, go buy season tickets now.
I would do it every week if it was just from the game. Yeah. So when I say, if there's one thing I could have done differently, I would have built that out quicker, because the ROI on it's fantastic, and it's a third of our business.
That's fantastic.
Our goal is to get it up to half of our business.
Yeah.
Now, how long do you think that would take for you to get to a half of your business? And are you analyzing what's getting good returns and what's not getting good returns in your 71 touches, and then eliminating or changing the ones that are just, not that they are falling on their face, but I'll say there are a couple of things just fall flat, right? Are you guys tracking those?
We measure. We track. We don't track per event, and it's challenging. We just track for the entire. Entire category of the program, yeah. So we watch it as we add things, we watch it, and we know for, like, usually if we do a baseball game or something like that, within that week we'll get about 10 referrals.
Wow.
And so we know the impact on it, and that's very abnormal to get 10 referrals in 1 week.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yeah. but every other lead source that we have, we measure it down to the letter. Every single dollar spent and every single person that's called from that lead source. So we know the expense on the phone. Go ahead.
No, so that's the important part that people need to understand. If you can track it, you can quantify it. You can analyze where that marketing dollars needs to go, instead of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. You're like, I don't know, mud stuck to the wall. I don't know where I got this lead from. You know what the cost is per acquisition, I bet, per client. And we know
what the cost is per closing, per Met appointment, per buyer agency or listing agreement, per appointment set, and per lead.
Yeah. And so Scott was asking, how do you get to a 3 million GCI? Well, Dave just gave you the answer. Track your shit.
Yeah, track your shit. And so last year that marketing program was 1/3 of our business, and so far this year it's 40% of our business. Whoa. So we've already increased it by 7%. So we're well on our way to 50%. We will hopefully be there by sometime next year. We're hiring a full-time director of marketing. We're currently interviewing. If anybody out there has any referrals for me as it relates to a talented person that could be our director of marketing, we're looking to have somebody level this system up and take it all away from me, and just take it to a whole new level.
That's cool. Now, are you integrating any high tech into the things that you're doing, like doing Facebook Lives or Periscope or Instagram Lives or anything like that? So you and I are sitting next to each other at the baseball game, chowing down a dog, drinking a beer, and like, oh, fuck it, let's just go live. Bloop. Hey guys, here I'm sitting here with Greg. We're enjoying the game. Check it out. A beautiful day. Wish you guys were here. Kind of give the people that couldn't make it, show them what a good time it is. So that they'll be like, oh man, we got to go to that, or shoot, why didn't we remember that the game was today, or something like that. Are you guys integrating high tech like that?
No, not at all.
No, positively
not at all.
No,
not even close. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I just don't do it. I get there and I grab a beer and watch a baseball game and say hi to our past clients. No, but that's why I need a director of marketing. I'm on Facebook maybe once a week, and I'm not. Yeah. So anyway, somebody that can hold me accountable,
Somebody that can do
hold
that
me
for you.
accountable to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody that can say, hey, Dave, you need to smile in front of this phone right now and talk about how great the baseball game is for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what I need too. I need to hire an intern for Cray America Industries. So let's dive into the. We don't get the Seinfeld reference. Come on, Greg, stay on.
Oh,
You got to stay up with me. Intern for Cray America Industries. Come on.
Sorry, I'm
All
like,
right.
I don't get it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Dave, take us back to when you're a solo agent. And you start making the transition to where you're generating more leads than you can handle. You need to start bringing people on. What is the first steps that you took into that world of building out a team around you?
Well, I've failed a lot of times at hiring an assistant.
Okay.
I think I went through 4 assistants in 2014.
Okay.
And yeah, just like massive problems in knowing how to hire talent, massive problems in leadership. And so just failing forward through all that. And, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, you guys might know this, but somebody said, I just heard it recently. And every time you feel like you're doing everything that you can do and you can't do anything more, you're missing a relationship in your life. You're missing a key relationship in your life, right? So right now for me, that's our director of marketing. I'm looking to get all that off my plate so I can do more. I can then put something else on my plate. So that's how I've run my business. From the very beginning and even today, all I do is focus on the highest dollar producing activity possible. And so for me, for a long time, it was prospecting and meeting with clients, and that's it, right? Prospecting, going on appointments, negotiating contract. That's my 20%. So every time I would get to the point where I just couldn't do any more of that, I was too busy, I would think about hiring somebody. So the first hire was an admin. The next hire was an ISA, and then all I did was go on appointments. And then the next hire was a buyer's agent. And then I stopped meeting with buyers because I can meet with more sellers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I hired, a few more buyer agents, and I hired a listing agent. And then I hired an operations manager, and now I'm left with marketing. And we have a sales manager on our team too. So literally just staying within the 20% of the highest dollar producing activity within your team. A lot of people like to monkey around with their business all the time and they forget how to produce money, and I never did that. I just hired good people that could build out systems, and all I did was produce commission checks.
I like commission checks. I like how you're absolutely no bullshit. You're like, look, this is not my sandbox. I'm not going to play in it. You guys go play in that sandbox. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I think that, and I'm guilty of this next part. I dabble in all kinds of sandboxes when I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I do it anyways. And I think that you are a product of your success because of your determination to stay in your lane, in your sandbox, in what you do. And I would bet that you probably have a very, 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 very low case or a little case of the shiny object syndrome.
Oh yeah, not at all. We don't do very many things, but the things that we do very well, and we go very deep with them. And same thing with our team. So the reason I'm successful is because the people that I've surrounded myself with are bought into the vision of of the 20%, right? Of what they should be doing too. So they're extremely disciplined and staying within their sandbox and not getting distracted by shiny objects, and staying, disciplined to their time blocks and focusing on what matters too. And so that's why we've grown so fast.
Well, your culture. That's really awesome. I was talking to someone the other day, and they had no culture. They had no goal, no vision. They just like, I want to double my business. Every person says they want to double their fucking business. Every time I talk to them, like, my question is, I feel like I'm Matt's channeling through me when I ask the next question. So what systems do you have in place?
Yeah, don't channel me. Oh, that's funny though. That was one thing that I always found fascinating, because I'm sure we've had those conversations, and Dave, you probably have them with the agents underneath you, which is that inevitable thing comes up, like, I want to double my business. And of course, my first question would be why. I think back a couple of years ago, I would have asked, great, what's the system to get you there? Now I would ask why. Because it's way more important to get down to that. So let's talk about that a little bit, just in the terms of like working with agents and helping them be more successful. So what have you noticed in terms of like getting down to their motivation?
It's everything. So we won't allow people on our team if they don't have a big enough why.
Mm-hmm.
And that
right?
is what
So
gets me out of bed. I love that.
Yeah. So how do you help people drill
room.
down and find out what that is? Because that, to me, that's one of the things that people struggle with the most. We sit in our classes because that's one of the questions that we ask, just to get a feel for them. Even though we can't go very, very much in depth on a class where we're delivering a lot of content, but we do ask that, and it's amazing how much that question throws people off. They can't answer it. So how do you help them kind of dig down to that? How did you dig down to yours?
With other people that we're interviewing, it's a part of our interview process, and it's 1 hour of our interview process is digging into their why.
That's awesome.
And seeing if like what we can provide is a fit for their why, or if they're not a fit for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we get them to their goal, and is their goal big enough?
So So when it comes to a big enough goal, a big enough why, give us an idea of what that looks like. Because a lot of people think, well, my goal is huge. It's like, dude, you want to do 3 deals this year. So you didn't do any deals last year. That's not going to work. Or.
And you got to be careful with that, because every single person, $100,000 is the number that every single agent counts. I want to make $100,000. Like, I haven't met a realtor that wants to be on our team that doesn't want to make, like, it's always $100,000. What's your goal? $100,000. I don't know what it is about that number, but interesting though, less than 1% of millennials out there make $100,000 a year.
Really?
Interesting.
Less than one.
I hadn't heard that.
Yep. Less than 1%. So think about the opportunity that you can provide people in real estate to make $100,000, and it's not that hard to make $100,000 in real estate on a team. You know,
yeah, it's true.
But anyway, so what was that question again?
Digging into the big why. So you spend an hour. Give us an idea of what some of those questions look like.
Yeah, so I ask them, I say, hey, if we are sitting here 5 years from now talking about all the amazing things that we were able to accomplish together in the categories of job, their career, right? So that's one category. The other one's money. And then I want you to pick 2 more categories that are important to you and what you want to accomplish over the next 2 years. Right? So I allow them to fill in the 2 other quadrants.
Right.
And it could be family, and it could be whatever it is, health or something like that. So we'll start talking about that. What do you want in your career over the for your career to be, for you to say that my career was incredible, that I accomplished everything I want to in the next 5 years or in the last 5 years, what does that look like? And we start writing down all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you start digging into their why. So you write all that stuff down and you start asking them, why is that important to you? How would that impact your life?
Mm-hmm.
How would that change how would that change, the things for the people around you?
Mm-hmm.
And so you do that with the money, you do that with the job, and you get down to, let's say, family's part of it. And they start talking about their kids. Well, I need to do this because my kids are starting college in 5 years, and I don't have any money saved up to send them to school.
Yeah.
I need to do this because, my mom's been renting her entire life, and the only thing that I've ever wanted to do is buy a home for her.
That's a big one.
So you start going into these things, right? And sometimes they're like, I really don't need to. My wife crushes it, makes $300,000 a year, and I just really wanted to have a hobby called real estate, and $100,000 sounds like a lot of money. So you start to identify like what their why is through those, and so you spend about an hour on it. So I learned. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's a really powerful thing to do. I was asked that by Aaron Wittenstein the other day when he interviewed me. He's like, Greg, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to tell me what 5 years what it looks like. I closed it. I couldn't see anything. So I'm like, fuck, I got a problem. So I've been writing down what I want in 5 years to look like, clear as day. And it's getting sexy, man. It is getting sexy. 5 years from now, I'm going to be one badass mofo. Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like?
With 16-pack abs?
16-pack abs, not 6, 16. They go all the way up to my nipples. Right. I have nipple pecs. I have nipple
pecs. Oh, that's awesome.
But I mean, it's clear. Like, I want to have the number one. When I say I, so royal I, when it comes to me and Matt, I want to have the number one real estate, residential real estate podcast with over 400,000 downloads every single month or more. I have where I'm living, what kind of home I'm in, what kind of relationship I'm in. what my monthly income is, how much I work, what I wear, when I'm doing it, just knock down exactly what I want to do. I think a lot of times, Dave, and I think, help me if I'm wrong, and Matt chime in on this too, I think people don't do it because they're afraid of success and they're afraid of actually dreaming of their perfect life, when their reality is the opposite. And so they're afraid to try, because if they fail, then they tell themselves that they can't. But when you actually start putting it into action, your life starts transforming in a positive way, and then it reaffirms, and then they get excited and they do it again. And there's a simple way you guys can start changing your day right now. But I was listening to Bob Proctor the other morning. Actually, this morning, it's a great idea. Right, set up and write 10 things you're truly grateful for, and feel it, and then send love to 3 people in your life, and then take 10 minutes and just sit there and just in silence and just enjoy the being alive. And that can help you start seeing where you go, where your true big why is, where you want to go, what your 5-year mark's going to look like, all kinds of stuff. Just a quick little idea. I'm gonna get off my soapbox because
why is it important to you, Greg, to have the #1 podcast with 400,000 downloads?
Because that's the minimum. Because people like Teresa that reached out to me today, we can help her and hundreds of thousands of other people around the country and around the world get to where they want and need to be in life. And we don't have to gouge them on coaching. We can give them something for free, because I believe there's so many people that fail out of this business because they get gouged by major coaching organizations, that I want to take everything I've ever learned and give it away, so that the world can be a better place, our industry can be a better industry, so that when you and I go up to another deal, we know that they're an educated agent on the other side, the deal runs smoother and they don't fall apart because of stupid mistakes. That's the reason
I can totally appreciate that. And what does that do for you, Greg? How does that impact you? What impact does it have on you?
It allows me to pay it forward when there's been so much love and kindness paid forward to me when I was a douchebaggery of a human being, and I can now do something positive in the world and help other people without asking for anything in return. Like my father, my business partner, my teams, Matt, our support staff, all these people play such a positive, massive role in my life that I want to be a magnet for it and then explode it back into the universe so other people can pay it forward. That's what it does for me.
That's awesome, Greg. And so when that actually happens, how is that going to make you feel?
All warm and fuzzy, like bunny rabbits are running around.
So that's it. You're just digging deeper into it. You keep going layer and layer and layer deep, and you find out if they're a phony and they're just blowing smoke, or if they are passionate about like getting shit done and creating a big world for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of bullshit out there.
People can't fake that. You start going 5-6 layers deep into it, they can't fake it anymore. And you'll blow through the people that really don't have a big why.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep going, but it's not my It's not my interview. It's your interview. We can talk about me if you want to, though.
That's awesome. All right, so Scott, that's watching right now, has a good question, and it's funny, going back to the comment about the guys looking to do a hobby. One of the guys commented they should go to Hobby Lobby. This is a lifestyle, not a hobby. That's a great comment. But Scott says, so Dave, what motivates you today? Great question.
So one of my goal this year is to create as many opportunities for people on my team as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's probably not going to change. That'll probably be the forever goal, Right. So that's it. That's the big why, is to create enough opportunities for other people where, I can get in business with these people forever. We can all grow together. And that's it. They have no reason to ever go anywhere else.
Yeah, love it. So you come from a mindset of contribution, like I do. Like when you get that thank you, or you see someone live their life, you're like, dude, homeboy, that's awesome. Now I'll take part of that check too. But hey, I'm glad you're doing well. But I've ran into 2 companies in the last couple of days that their customer service was so far and above good that they have a client for life out of me. And I believe that's what you're trying to do with your real estate company. Become such a good quality customer service, helping, growing, encouraging, entertaining, having fun with, and building a business that people are like, I'm never going to go anywhere. You're like the one-stop shop of goodness for real estate in Charleston, So I think that's awesome. And I think a lot of people are so used to bullshit that when they find someone like you, they aren't used to it. Then they really go in there, it smells like bullshit. There's something going on. I don't smell, I don't know where it is. And they sniff around, then they find out that you're the legit deal. And they're like, okay, well, honey, unpack. We're never moving. We're staying here.
That's right. We're ready. Let that 71 touch system just wash over me. We're going to just break. I'm just sit back and let it wash over me. That is awesome, though. And it is interesting that just the shift as you start bringing people on, it becomes more about, because it's at a certain level, like yes, you can keep yourself motivated by having like the next set of financial goals. And I'm sure you have those. You know, you probably want to get into investing, you want to do other things, or you want to have more units, more deals sold and stuff like that. But you start getting more satisfaction. Yeah. Well, it moves towards like dealing with people and what they get out of it.
That's it. Because as long as they get whatever they want, you're going to have everything that you want in life too. So like at that point, you can have these like monetary goals, but money's not a big enough why. Like that's why I said, like, people are going to say I need to make, $100,000 a year or 200,000, but do you? Like, what's your real why?
Yeah.
Like, or is that just a number that you think would be nice, but really you have nothing to get your ass out of bed every single morning and into the office to put together some real estate deals. So, it's moved. Money was, a big thing for me, as far as it relates to goals and such, but, but it's not even that anymore. Like, I'm obviously not, the wealthiest realtor out there making more than everybody else, but for me, like personally, like I can't go to the restaurant and buy a bigger burger, like that doesn't do anything bigger for me because I have more money. Like at this point, it's just about impacting more people, just making their lives easier, my life easier, and just helping them grow. And in doing that, you just have to continuously get out of your own way and give up the job that you're currently doing and give it to somebody else, coach them up on how to grow it, and just keep doing that and create more opportunities.
So the people that are watching us and listening to us are either live or on the recorded version. What would be the first couple of steps to start a team with your mindset, and then what to watch out for? Because you said you failed quite a bit, wrong people in the wrong seats on the bus, very, very quickly. How do you start giving and paying it forward like you do, and what to be aware of?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is get around, like, be okay with other people doing things that you do really well. A lot of people have this limiting belief that no one's going to be able to do it as well as they do. And I always had that limiting belief too. And, being worried about like overpaying somebody like for certain positions, as far as how much money they might make and things like that. And, and just having the abundance mindset. I clearly remember, like, in 2013, I watched this video that Curtis Johnson created, and he was talking about how, people make phone calls and set listing appointments, and the sellers come into the office, and then his operations manager meets them in the conference room and gives them popcorn, a Coke, and plays a listing video. And then when they're done watching the video, they come back out again and give them a listing agreement and have them sign it. And in the meantime, like, Curtis Johnson never met them. They never went to their home. And I was like, this is hocus pocus bullshit. Like, there's no way this could ever happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my mindset back in 2013. Right. So the faster you can get over that, the better you are, because it's possible, there's a lot of team leaders out there that never meet with any client ever.
And once you find out about stuff like that, you realize that there is you have to let go of the belief that you can do it better than a system can do it. Because that's what they've done.
Get over that people want to, like, so many realtors are like, yeah, but all of our clients want to meet with me. Like, get over yourself, bro. Like, you're not that cool. Like, they want to sell their home. This is what they want to do. They want to meet with you. They want to get their home sold. If you have the system that can provide that, they're going to be okay meeting with whoever comes over to their home.
That's right.
Yeah, the ego part of the business is a very powerful draw for a lot of folks, because we have our dumbass picture on everything. I don't know why we do that, but you know what? It's as soon as you get out of your own way, your path becomes a lot clearer, because you're not staring at yourself and going me. You should be saying you, helping. I mean, I help Matt grow on a daily basis, and I know that I allow him to start doing his own thing.
Thank you. I appreciate the self-sacrifice, Greg. I really do.
From me, buddy, to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Coach Greg, that's what I call you. All right.
Oh my God, that is at 11:59. That is a marker.
How about you clam up and we let Dave tell people where they can get in contact with him? Oh man. All right, Dave. So for people that if they are in and around the Charleston area and they are interested in getting into real estate, or if they know somebody that might be interested in a position on your team, like an admin or operations capacity, and then of course if you want them to keep you in mind for referrals, kind of remind people where you're at and how to get in contact with you and your team.
Sure, absolutely. Call 843-800-2465. Again, that's 843-800-2465.
Awesome.
Good.
And then website for them to learn more about you.
Sure. Go to good website that we have. It's got some information about our team, some testimonials from our team members. And again, Viral put it together. It's our recruiting blog. It's called DaveFriedmanCoaching.com. Dave, F-R-I-E-D-M-A-N, coaching.com.
Cool. Yeah, guys, and we've mentioned Viral a couple of times. So I remember, Dave, you were never under my coaching, but you were under somebody else's in the office. So I've heard your name for several years. It's kind of funny that you came up as a guest on the show. But yeah, just from Adam Roach, that whole conversation that just came about here a couple weeks ago. But anyway, so you're a Viral client. Greg's a Viral client. I just want to point out, guys, go check them out at getviral.com. We've referenced them, but we don't always tell people really what they do, and we've gone into it more in depth on this show, so I figured I might as well just throw it out. A nice plug for Frank. I'll let him know tomorrow when I see him that we give him a nice plug. So there you go, Frank. Getviral.com. Man.
I love it. Hey, one more thing. I love to give credit to where it's due, and that's why I mentioned him a couple times with some of those things. But that whole interview process is called career visioning. It's a class that you can take with Keller Williams, and it's a must-have if you want to get serious about hiring. I've taken it 6 times now.
Holy cow!
Yeah. So go take that class, and that'll teach you everything.
Well, Dave, the one thing we've learned about you is that you don't do things small. I mean, shit, people have like 21 touches. You're like, fuck that, dude. 71. Let's bump that to 82. I mean, 6 times in a class. But I want to really hit that strong for a second. You are a student of the industry. You don't just sit back on your laurels and let things come to you. You hunt them down aggressively. If you don't know something, you fucking learn it. You know, if you're unaware of something, you hear it, you go hunt it down and find it. If you see someone that's good at something, you probably give them a call or stop by or set up a lunch or do something. But everybody wants it to be easy, right? Oh, why aren't these just falling in my lap? Because bitch, you ain't working. Get out there and become smarter and be humble yourself to ask questions about what you don't know. I mean, I'm always asking people. I mean, I go sit in my controller's chair all the time. Here in the office, I'm like, Irene, I think I done fucked up. Can you help me? She's like, you're an idiot. Let me see that contract. I'm like, I'm sorry. But, you know, I instead of getting sued, I go humble myself. You guys need to do that. You know, Dave's a perfect example. He's a very successful, just cool dude, but he learns. So don't wish it was easier.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wish you were
right.
better.
It's simple. No, it's simple, but it's not easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to figure something out, I promise you, whatever you have top of mind, there's probably 100 people that have done it before you at a high level. Just go copy what they've done. They've already failed and spent the money and wasted it and all that shit. Like literally, don't reinvent the wheel. Just go copy something that's been successful for somebody else.
Oh, thank you,
Love
Dave.
it.
That is awesome. Please
and
say it again.
On that note, Don has a good comment. I can see Greg's glamour shot on a bearskin rug shirtless. So, guys, go copy that.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Don, for that comment. I think Don's going to be with us in the next Get Now business class because he said he can't wait till the class starts next month. I'm picturing something like the George Costanza on the couch kind of milieu. That's what I'm. Yeah. Anyway.
Nobody wants to think about that.
No, we don't want to think about that. All right, guys. So for us, getnowbusiness.com, check that out. That's the next live class that starts next month. It's all about how to strategically target the 2 factors and the people in your life that have the connection to you and a need for what you do, how to find them without cold calling or crazy marketing budgets and door knocking and things like that, but how to reach out to them and generate referrals and turn your database, like Dave talked about, into an army of people that are out there looking for referrals to send you and know with complete rock solid confidence that you will handle them correctly once you get them. That is one of the elements that we talk about in that 4-step marketing plan and Get Now business. So, Greg, let's sum up and let people know how to follow us, and then let's get out of here.
I know there's 2 F words I'm going to mention, guys. I need you to do one F word, not the other F word. Neither of them are F-U-C-K, okay? There's friends, and then there's follow. So I don't want you to take action on the first one. No friending. I want you to follow us on Facebook, because when you guys follow us on Facebook, I cannot take any more friends. Matt will not accept any more friends, but we will be, if you follow us, you can see Matt's Facebook lives that he's doing, my Facebook lives that we do independently of each other. I do live circle prospecting, 4 days a week, most of the weeks, unless there's something comes up. But and then you see the podcast, you get alerted to it. And if this has been helpful, or if the other episodes have been helpful, please share them with your broker, your other agents, marketing meetings. If we can bring value to this industry on a bigger scale, please help us to do it, because we can't reach people that we don't know. And that's where we ask you guys to come in and help us. So follow us, help us build this industry, help people like Teresa and other folks that reach out to me on a daily basis for quick questions. So, and you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and I can answer questions with you, either video, audio, or.
And Dave loves it. Hit Dave up on Facebook Messenger and demand that he do more Facebook Lives. Just we encourage it. Flood Dave with messages demanding more Facebook Lives from beautiful Charleston, South Carolina.
And Dave immediately does not ever go back onto his Facebook account. He's like, well, nope, delete.
Yep, great. He's like, great, now I have to delete my Facebook account. All right, Dave, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next one, and Greg, take us home.
All right, guys. Peace out, ninjas. We gone.